Welcome back, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. My name is Pritesh with KAIZN Crypto. In this video, I had the opportunity to speak with Kyle Solomon, aka AdaFrog. He is the CEO of DripDropz, the founder of Adosia, as well as the stake pool operator for Frog Stake Pool. I really enjoyed this conversation. I learned a lot about operating a business within the Cardano ecosystem, some of the things that are coming up for the different projects that he's been working on, like DripDropz, Adosia. So many amazing things from this conversation. If you all do enjoy this video here today, please be sure to drop a like for me. Also, a lot of the links that we have talked about in this video will be down in the description below, so please be sure to check those out and make sure you give Kyle a follow on Twitter and on social media. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for watching. Let's go ahead and jump right in. It's you got to pay your people, right? And when you get paid in something that gets devalued as much as it has, it's not easy.
Yeah, no, it's not. And, I've had to make those adaptations too. That's my, one of the biggest challenges is just making sure everybody's taken care of. I got the team together way back in November, like a good team I started putting together. And this was all in parallel with DripDropz. So I had like 6 Adosia meetings going on, all while we were getting DripDropz going. And Adosia kind of got into a steady pace, but I had thought of this really cool pivot of using 3D printers and enabling people to make money using their 3D printers and people to make money creating designs and selling designs and that kind of stuff. And we just learned a whole lot. And so as we were building along, we, put in a couple of proposals that didn't get funded. We had some that were funded before. So that's kind of how we had picked up Quinn and got him working with the team. And, the market was just kind of tanking, and we put in a proposal and just kind of explained what we were doing and where we were going. And we're actually pretty far along already. We've got an application called Space Printer, which, people use to manage and interact with the smart contract. And there's a wallet embedded, and we're working on a full node wallet, the Cardano box.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty cool. Yeah,
Nice.
It's dope. And we're going to be pursuing opportunities to monetize the storage in that as well. And so it's just turned into this really cool project. But then this is concept of a marketplace, right? Like this dope marketplace. Like, okay, we're going to tie it together, but how do we get there first? So like we got guys over here that got their own 3D printers, and it's anybody can show up, like the ITN. Like, remember how we showed up to run stake pools, right?
Exactly.
We want people to be able to show up with their 3D printers and be able to receive jobs that other people are purchasing. So in order to test this clusterfuck, right, or this chaos, initially we're going to do a Space Coins rocket drop, like a 3D rocket drop, right? So
yes.
we got SpaceX engineers on the team, right?
That's awesome.
They designed a series of 7 different rockets, and each rocket has 7 components that are assembled. Like you got a cone, you got a body, you got a window, a door, you got fins, you got a flame, an engine. And so each piece is an NFT part that you get, and it'll generate a 3D rocket, and that's your NFT. And you'll have an opportunity to then go and print that on one of the networks. You pay extra money and the printers get paid, right? And so the smart contract will make a little bit of money, but that's going to help us test interacting with, oh shit, what's going on? And so we'll incentivize it. This is the what we're calling the private test net. So we have a private incentivized test net. So these are our invite only printers. We've got probably 30 printers online. We have ambassadors. It's pretty cool. So we're building a nice little internal team. The Doja Ambassador internal chat's got 35 members in it. So it's a nice family we're going to do to support this rocket drop. And hopefully we're going to learn a lot, right? We're going to eat money on, oh shit, we thought we could service this area. We're going to learn, right? And essentially we're going to take what we learn, and then we're going to roll it into a marketplace, a full-on marketplace where anybody can create 3D NFTs and upload them and put prices on them and get paid later when other people.
That's amazing.
Print them. Yeah.
Wow.
So the first step enables like the Buffy bot drop. So then you could come behind us and do a KAIZN 3D NFT drop and use the Adosia smart contract to fulfill it, right? So we'll enable that side of the market, and that'll get it going. But then the marketplace will let you upload like a 2D image or pick your own JPEG, and it'll create a 3D printable lithophane kind of NFT out of it.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of cool shit you can do with it, but Lathisan, CTO DripDropz, is coming on to build the marketplace. So that's what the catalyst funding kind of secured us. So it was a really cool play. The funding came in at the right time. You're right, revenue's down, and it allowed us to make a couple lateral moves in some smart ways that's going to help everybody, and just takes the project from, we were moving along, but now it's just the whole marketplace piece, the puzzle, boom, it's all right there. And so we're just going to fly. Yeah.
Wow. So it's like, you guys have so many moving pieces, right? With DripDropz, and you got Adosia, you got all these people who are part of that. And then, you guys are just building on top of the strengths that you guys already got. I love that Lathisan's in it, Quinn, right? Like, because what they did, token, they did DripDropz. I tell you, these guys, they're on it.
Man, I'll tell you, I'm beside myself every day, working with the team that I get to work with. Like, these guys are some of the most sophisticated professionals that I've ever had the privilege to just work with. And in fact, they tolerate my crazy tail. It's just an honor to work with them. And we are doing really awesome stuff. And every day is exciting. Rick, Anthony, even Chris, and Adam Dean, superheroes just swooping in. Lloyd's a hero. I mean, everybody on this team is just, they're gifted. They're very gifted, and we're all lucky to have them. So I'm glad that they're here building on Cardano with us.
Man, that's amazing. I love to hear that. Yeah, I'm excited about it, brother. I even I was catching up on the Twitter for Adosia. So then you guys have this design contest. Talk about that, and let us know what's going on with it.
So we got an active design contest going on now. You can check out our Twitter at Adosia.io, and that'll give you the details of that. But people, if you want to submit a 3D design, we'll give you an opportunity to earn, win a 3D printer. I think we're giving away one of those, and we're giving away some tokens. So it's a pretty cool giveaway. And we're just trying to get some designs together. What we're going to do with those, we're actually going to mint 3D NFTs for testnet, and we're going to start passing those around. So operationally, all our pies are shipping out to our printers right now. We had to get a bunch. Hardware's hard to get right now, right? So we had to get a bunch from Alibaba, and just the way they came in, they would have been a pain in the ass. We had to kind of update them in a way. So Mike's just handling it bulk. So all our printers aren't doing super technical stuff. They've just got something they can kind of plug up and get ready to go. Gotcha. So that's all going out. We're going to test that for 2 or 3 weeks, and then we're going to roll into the Space Cleanse rocket drop.
Dang, so that's awesome.
Yeah, we were going to do all this without the funding. So we were moving, but it's just the funding just is like, okay, cool. Now the guys don't have to worry. We don't have to do anything crazy. And it's really neat with what DripDropz is building, because it's going to enable the incentive part of kind of the early incentive phase. Because like, if you look at Cardano's got an incentive phase, right? And then it's got a post-incentive phase, right? And so, truly decentralized, there's incentives we can build into the protocol, like smart contract logic aspect of it. But then there's incentives that we're going to want to adapt, right? Because if we build stuff into it, it's really hard to change, and things are really weird. Like tokenomics, everybody likes to say what they know what they're talking about, but Cardano, it's all a new landscape with how the min UTXOs work and that kind of stuff. So you want that flexibility, I think, at least now. And so we'll learn there, use a reward structure that's more tunable, right? We can use a rewards API essentially, right? Where we can just kind of programmatically do it on the top layer of our app, not at the smart contract level, learn from that to then what we evolve into bake in. So it's cool, man. We're building cool things. We hope to be able to have a demo where you can buy and print a 3D NFT at Rare Bloom and CNFTCon. So,
that'll be nice. So you guys will have your own booth and everything. And I know Chris was talking to me about that. And are you guys able to?
I can't. I've got to circle back with Rare Bloom for Adosia. But yeah, Doja has space secured for CNFTCon.
Sweet. That'll be awesome, man. See a live demo at the Rare Bloom. Oh, that'd be amazing. So like with all these 3D printers, so like you mentioned Raspberry Pi. So now the Cardano node, like, is that going to be running on the Raspberry Pi, or is that like some Adosia software? How is it going to I'm sure APIs are built into it somehow, but kind of walk us through a little bit of the technicals.
Yeah, so Cardano node right now, Mike's got it to where we're running it on a Pi. but we want the image to run x86 too. It's probably more appropriate for a NUC, but there are 12 gig Pis running out because, you know, we both run nodes, right? You need some pretty intense resources if you're going to be doing, if you wanted, you know, if you want it to stay on tip to the point where it's kind of helpful in a propagation, you know, perspective. So, ultimately we want to support both. We want to support higher end Pis where it's appropriate because you can, you know, the ARM firmware is a little lighter too. So so it is worth benchmarking in that in that realm. But I think a NUC is probably you know, another architecture. You know, x86 we want to support as well, so you can run a peripheral aspect. But the idea is so you can have a full node, people can contribute, it's not taking up your workstation, right? That there's definitely a market for that. Everybody, you know, I get so many questions like, hey, if I ran a relay, would it help the network, right? Well, no, but your full node wallet does. Well, hey man, but nobody runs Daedalus full time because it's just and there's not really another solution there. So that can help the network, but then it gets really cool because now you've got a whole peripheral system that can be monetized, right? You can monetize your CPU maybe, but you definitely monetize the storage, and there's protocols for that. But we could go in and hack those protocols up, and then instead of getting them to pay an Ethereum storage token, now we can get them to incentivize in native assets and create partnerships. Maybe it's more than one native asset. So expect some stuff from us there in that realm. That's going to be pretty cool. But it's all about incentivizing these node operators. You know, Mike wanted to do peer-to-peer jet chicken on. I'm like, okay, hold on, we got some other things to do before we go there. But you know, deck builders and peer-to-peer games. But it's cool. He's building cool stuff. So we've got Cardano Box, we've got Space Printer. Those are our two primary apps that we're rolling. And then Quinn's got the series of smart contracts for the marketplace. So there's a whole kind of suite of technologies that are coming together. You know, we're just trying to enable economic opportunity for people, right?
Absolutely.
Well, they'll earn ADA, right? So the printers aren't just earning like Adosia tokens or whatever. That's the incentive bonus for just participating, right? The ADA that, you know, a user, like let's do a typical drop. You buy an NFT for like 20 or 50 ADA, right? Okay, cool. Now you're going to have an option to print it and get it shipped to you. So that's substantially more because printing, it takes time. Like job could be 8 or 10-hour job, right? So it's an intricate kind of deal, and it's a multi-part, and it could be multicolors, right? So you got a multicolored rocket that you're getting printed. So the majority of that revenue goes to the printer. So he's going to cover the shipping cost and earn money, and a small fraction, 2.5%, will be going to the Adosia Treasury, the smart contract. So as we build out more people interfacing with it, we've got some revenue generation for the smart contract, and then we can begin to evolve that into you know, decentralize it, right? Because nobody wants to run a centralized business. Ultimately, we want to have an organization that can survive any person, and so that's kind of the idea. And then anybody can go and create and make money from their creations, right? And you say, I create a widget or you know, a tool or whatnot, or maybe a figurine, and I put it out in the marketplace. I can make money anytime anybody wants that or uses that, right? Every time it's printed, I get paid. And so the printer gets paid, the designer gets paid. And, you know, in the beginning, we can have an incentive phase where people use tokens. And obviously it gets interesting because now you've got, hey, I didn't get my shit, you know, and you've got disputes to deal with, right? So how do you do that? So you actually have to take money from this treasury to pay people like you and me to say, what happened? Oh, no, you don't get paid. And, you know, we got a big reputation. So it's a very complex problem to solve. It's a wild experiment. So for now, we're going to try and create economic opportunity for people because that gets people, and people are the most important thing. You get people on the train, they're here and they can work. So as long as they're fed, we can grow together. And that's the one thing I've learned in Cardano. As long as everybody is taken care of and you get a good team, you can keep going. And that's the most important thing, because even if it is dark, you can build in the darkness. And then when it's gone, you can set yourself up really well.
Oh man, Kyle, I could listen to you talk all day like that, man. You're getting me fired up. Whew. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. That's fantastic.
I mean, can you believe where we are, man? Like seriously, when we showed up, this was just like, we're going to do some obscure shit on some obscure protocol and just participate and see what happens, and how far it's come. And you know, there's been a lot of entities who have shown up to the space, and there's a lot of trash, and there's a lot, I don't know, it's just interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's like what, Catalyst Fund 9 already. We've already seen so many different things like these ISOs, right? All these different stake pools that are now, you know, smart contracts. We've got all these NFT projects. It's wow, like it's just blown up.
Well, there's a lot, the community is a lot bigger than it used to be. That's for sure. It's way bigger, like, I don't know. It's interesting. It's different.
It is
But it
different.
seems like it's shrunk again now that we're in a bear market. It seems like all the fringe people are,
All the moon boys, they've kind of gotten, they've left, long gone.
no, but those who stay, this is where it happens.
Yep.
This is where it happens, because when this is over, you pick your head up and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah, man, I know it's crazy. But so Kyle, you're doing a lot of different things, man. You are doing DripDropz, you've got your frog stake pools, you are doing this Adosia thing. Tell us a little bit about the tokens, right? So there's a whole bunch of different, and you had talked about incentives as well, and I wanted to get your thoughts on how this is all going to tie together. But you've got the Adosia token, you've got the Drip token. I know for our conversation today, we can talk about Adosia mainly and how the token is going to be used to incentivize these printers. But what does that look like when you create an ecosystem around these tokens?
Well, so we got to be careful about that. So DripDropz is something that it's a remarkable journey. I mean, we had no idea how successful it was going to be. Like, we had an idea, but we had no idea that it was just going to be become such a cornerstone of the ecosystem. That's essentially what we are. We are the best in the world at distributing Cardano tokens, hands down, and the team is phenomenal. But the tokenomics of DripDropz it's 100% fair distribution. All of it we're giving away to the community. The only way you can get it is via dripping the token. And I'm glad we get to talk about that a little bit, because right now we're actually undergoing the very first vote with native assets on Cardano using the drip token, right? And so I abstained from a question or a vote on the ballot, or it was an item on the ballot, probably the appropriate way to phrase it, which essentially states whether or not to give the team 10% for operational use or rewards or what the purpose of that question is, we want to offer the community an opportunity to enable us a method to compete effectively. And so we have no intention of taking these tokens and dumping them right away or anything like that. But what it does is it's a rather significant value as far as just market value. Obviously, it's probably has a zero cost basis because we couldn't offload that much liquidity on the DEX, right? But if you were to equate with what is available on the DEX, it resembles, a substantial portion of the market cap, and so ultimately, you look at like what's happening with Luna and Solana, you've got these tainted ecosystems, or I call them tainted projects, right? And that goes back, like, that's not me criticizing any one project. That's a seated belief that outside money fucks with your vision. It taints your vision. And I've avoided that type of funding as an entrepreneur my entire life. I don't want to build for other people in a way that, we need to be accountable for what we do. We need to build with integrity, right? We want to maintain that. And so it really is unprecedented. It looks like, I'm looking at the vote right now, or I'm going to check it out. It looks like the community is going to give us the leeway to do this. And it's we're just going to hold it through the bear market.
Yeah.
And on the other side of it,
one thing that's really, really great about that, Kyle, is like you were telling us that just the market value of the tokens that the team holds is so significant. I'm really happy to hear that you guys abstained from that one piece of that vote, because, it's a big deal if you're going to make it like a community centered thing.
No, it's not significant until we actually get the tokens, but I did buy drip. I absolutely have purchased drip. Yeah.
Oh, so this is tokens you actually purchased. Okay. That I gotcha. So like the team actually went on their own dime and they bought these tokens.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I did. I can't speak for anybody else, but I'll say that I personally, I bought some. I believe in myself.
Absolutely. I believe in you too, man.
Fair distribution. It's not like I had any coming from a vesting schedule. That's the only way I could get them.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We're putting a vote out there, but that's the community vote. but I didn't vote. I abstained from that question. Now I voted to give operator node rewards and things like that, because these are, I mean, I need the community to vote for number 5, because that gives me the ability to compete, right? We can compete now. And so it's important, and we don't necessarily need it, but right now we're running on a revenue, and that's really freaking hard for any startup to come out the gate and say, "Ha, revenue," and just start whipping on revenue, which is what we were doing.
I know, right? Waiting on that $1 ADA again. Whew.
You know, a $1 ADA sounds so nice.
It really does. It's not even like we're asking for too much here. It's just like a $1 ADA. It's like,
it's going to get worse, I think. I think it's worse.
Yeah.
Not financial advice.
Well, that's good, man. You know, I think that just the fact that we're all just kind of pioneering this entire ecosystem, and to think that this is all brand new and we're all learning all this, I think it's fantastic. And you know, that's what DripDropz. So you guys have that vote. I did vote. Great experience. You know, just to think about how you can simply, you know, connect your wallet. You've got these questions on the ballot, and then you send the transaction, and this unique amount of ADA, which you send to this address, is how you're able to tally the vote. The experience was wild. I just really enjoyed that. And with Adosia, tell us a little bit about the tokens there, because the Adosia token's also on DripDropz too. So that's an option for people who use the platform to, you know, claim those tokens every epoch. What's going on with how that works?
So we gave Adosia utility really early, and we also gave Space Coins utility with Adosia too. And so Adosia is an evolution, and it existed as a Wi-Fi control system, is how it still exists. And we tied in the ability for you to monitor a Cardano address and essentially trigger an IoT action on a embedded controller based on receiving a Cardano payment, an ADA payment, or a native asset payment. So we've got some utility tokenomics, but we're evolving the tokenomics into the marketplace smart contract. So right now there's an incentivized phase where we're incentivizing printers just to participate and test, right? Test all the rocket parts for the Space Coins rockets, right? So we're making sure we're finding defects. We're getting ready to run through an operational thing. The Space Coins rocket drop is kind of a revenue play, but the idea is the printers who participate in that will receive tokens as well. So there's a little bit, and it's not a huge amount of assets. It's just to kind of incentivize early access people who came on and wanted to participate and that we were engaged with. And we publicly had put tweets out who wants to be involved. So this wasn't like a handpicked thing. We put private, you know, we'd reached out to the community. And so that's what we're calling our incentivized private testnet. We've got to keep it kind of closed because we're going to be doing a sale to customers, and we have a responsibility to those customers who purchase the Space Coins rocket. So we've got to contain that, and we're using it to learn. Like that, the purpose of that drop is so we can basically organize this chaos that we're going to ensue by having all these people all over the world try and print and ship things for people they don't know. So bear with us on that. But right after we get that done, we're going to take about a month break, and we're going to roll into what's called the Doge ITN. It's public testnet. So all will be welcome. Anybody with a 3D printer can show up, and it's going to be bring your own hardware, but we'll show you what you need to get, and you kind of get yourself set up, and you can participate, and you will be able to select and fulfill jobs, and it's going to be cool. And so we're going to learn too with that, and we're going to tie that all together, but that should culminate with likely, you know, being able to purchase something, hopefully at CNFTCon, and being able to fulfill it right there as well. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
But we could end up in testnet for a while, right? It could be something where we're purchasing mainnet, fulfilling on testnet. Any of the incentives that happen on testnet that aren't driven like to DripDropz right away, we haven't decided whether we're going to do that. We can do the same snapshot basis, right? You just use your same mnemonics on testnet as mainnet. We can basically reward that way. So, or we could even reward on the DripDropz side for what happens on testnet with the snapshots, right? You just restore your mnemonics from testnet on mainnet, then go enter that address, and there you go. So we have some solutions to kind of work through the incentive aspect, but the whole idea, we haven't worked out all the incentives yet. The idea is if you're a printer and you're printing stuff and you're participating, you know, you can get some extra tokens in addition to the 80 you earn, right? If you're a designer and maybe you submit your NFT design to the marketplace and somebody prints it for the first time, you get a reward, right? So I'll sprinkle gamify. I got to gamify it essentially. Is that's how the incentives will be, right? It's just, that process, it will take time and iteration. And that's what I mean by you don't want to bake that necessarily into a smart contract. You kind of put it on a layer on top, at least until you learn about what you're really going to use. Because if you bake it in, then that could be just more work than it's worth. Because the thing with these Adosia smart contracts, we really want to audit them. So we've got money aside for auditing. We got $50,000 from Catalyst. It's probably not enough. We're actually talking about really interesting paths there, but I'm prepared from a leadership perspective to have to maybe allocate another 100,000 or so just for that process. But we want those smart contracts reviewed professionally.
Wow. Okay. That's exciting. Yeah. So there's a lot of economic opportunities for these, not only 3D printers, but then I guess anybody with the technical aptitude can kind of jump in there, right? With this testing period, like this ITN for Adosia, you know, you can pick up a 3D printer if you decided, hey, I want to participate.
You don't have to have any prior experience. We have people without any
Wow.
experience now, Adosia ambassadors. They have come, like, you know, like Rob from Trek Pool came and he had never touched a 3D printer. And this guy's a you know, they're learning. There's guys in there, you know, we've got the SpaceX engineers design rocket parts, like real rocket engines, like all you know, and so we've got that type of expertise that can help us. And we've got 3D printing expertise. So there's expertise from the core staff and even some of our core ambassadors, you know, our head ambassadors, and that just kind of it's infectious. So people are learning. So yeah, we expect to have a community and grow a community where you can come if you don't know and you just want to participate. It's a new opportunity for people who didn't get here in time to run a stake pool successfully, right? And because these are time-based opportunities, right? It's there's an advantage for, you know, when we got into the stake pool business, it was like walking around and seeing gold on the beach. It's like, you know, it's like the gold rush, you know, it was easy.
Yep. ADA was like 10 cents, less than 10 cents. You know, you could pick up.
Yeah, nobody gave a shit.
Yeah. I know, man. Well, that's awesome. I love that.
Okay. Oh, cool, man.
Yeah. So Kyle, you talked about, we can get into all that, you know, like running a business and then, you know, the stake pool. And I mean, I don't know how much time you got today for us, but, you know, I'd love to just chop it up with you for a little while.
Dude, Pritesh, I'll give you all the time. I'm heading back to Rico tomorrow. So
okay. All right. You in North Carolina right now, or?
I'm in Carolina right now, but I'll be back. I'll be back soon. I got to get my dogs, and then I'm gonna drive them to Miami and ship them away.
Gotcha. Yeah. How is it? How's it going for you there, man? I know, like, when you first moved to Puerto Rico, it was a little bit rough, but
it's getting better. I got my motorcycle and my car both there and registered, so
nice.
We're making progress. Yeah, but I got a bike now wherever I live, and that's, I think for me, that's right now the most important thing in my mental health. It's you get a lot of exercise riding a motorcycle. I didn't realize that until push it real hard, but it's good. Good for your health.
Yeah. That's good, man. That's good. Do you think that you see yourself there long term, or?
I mean, a few years, there's an advantage, and I'm going to do some, you know, I'm going to build some cool businesses. So
nice.
Hopefully, yeah, you know, it's there's an advantage that they attract entrepreneurs who are doing, you know, it's advantageous if you're doing token businesses, right? But I don't know. I mean, the law, I don't know what's going to happen here. You know, there's so much uncertainty that, you know, like, okay, I was a stake pool operator when I started, and that's okay, but it's not enough to sustain a full living in Cardano anymore, right? Not unless, you know what I'm saying? So it's,
oh yeah,
it's different, right? So the times are different. We have to cut costs, and so that's part of it. But now there's other facets, and it gets more complicated. And, you know, I think Catalyst is a great opportunity to help weather some of the storm. So that's something to consider too. You know, like you were talking about your game, right?
Yeah. We
angle.
I know we wanted to, because, you know, Kyle, I've been getting these invoices from our team, and it's like I'm like, okay, I got to pay these people, but then, you know, my ability to do so just got cut in half, right? So now I'm looking at Catalyst like, okay, there's this honeypot here that can help us get through the winter, right? And that's kind of like how I'm looking at it.
Take it, go for it. You deserve it. You show up, you give, your heart's here. You know, like there are people, I just cuss those dudes out on Flick too, because they fucking showed up and took money from people.
Man, I'm glad I didn't miss that. You know, we can how do you
That Hosky stood up for me. I appreciate you, Hosky.
he really did. You know, I got to give it to him. I think he's changed a lot. You know,
Well, he pissed me off a lot, and he knows he did, and that's fine. But you know what? He's human. I'm human. He's got a good heart. I've always believed that, you know, and it's just the timing for me is just, I can't even describe, like, personally what I'm going through. It's just, it's different. It's not expected, you know. It's like it's just it's weird, you know, like I'm used to like running, kind of just doing my own thing, and now we're just thrust into this, like, okay, what we're doing with Cardano, it's bigger than, you know, I don't know, it's just bigger than what I thought it would be, just from a like a responsibility and duty perspective, you know. So
yeah, absolutely. Even for me, I've had so much growth. Like, I would have never even anticipated it when I first, you know, holding ADA, right? Hey, I've got a wallet, I got my private key. For me back then, that was huge. Being able to just have that private key, knowing that, okay, I've got this and I'm responsible for it. And now just to think, it's like we're building these businesses, we're seeing the growth of this ecosystem, the community's just like grown exponentially. Um, and one of the questions I want to ask you, Kyle, is just as somebody who's built multiple businesses, you know, you're a stake pool operator, you got your stuff going on with the projects that you're building. What are some of the things that you could say to our audiences as far as, you know, how they're able to weather the storm if they're looking to build? What is it that they would need in terms of just that, the mental toughness and the fortitude to be able to go through the ups and downs?
oh man, I mean, like, I don't know, like, you've got to want it. You know, nothing comes easy, and nothing in life is as you expected. I mean, I showed up to Cardano not well. I was sick. I had 200 ADA. I mean, I just filed bankruptcy because I was, you know, I have Lyme disease, and my cognitive abilities weren't what they weren't what they they just weren't what they were. You know, they were gone, and you know, and I had always, you know, thought that I would do, you know, things, big things, and I'd worked towards that my whole life. And then you come to this place in your life where you don't have certain skills that you used to having. It almost, you know, it's just like an identity, like, okay, I can't do that. But there's some relief there, because, like, okay, cool, I don't have to do that. You know, it's like, you know, duty, responsibility, right? And it's like, cool. So it was cool for a while, and I stumbled onto the stake pool stuff, and I was slow with it, and you know, it was interesting. And then over time, just, I don't know, just started to come back, I guess. And you know, the stake pool really was the first aspect of it, but it was hard. It was really hard to get to the point where it was revenue, and it wasn't revenue for a very long time. I remember when we got paid from the ITN, we worked for almost a year for free, and I got paid 114,000 ADA from the ITN. And it was 108,000 ADA, excuse me, or something like that. But it was worth 14.5 or something like that. It was worth $14,000 at the time. And I'm like, wow, that was pretty cool. And then, like, you know, $3 is like, you look back and, whoa, you know, like that. But you know, you're earning ADA at 4 cents and 6 cents and 8 cents and that kind of stuff. But that's the opportunity. So the opportunity, I guess, is, it all happens in the bear market. It all happens when you're hurting and you're bleeding. And that's what I would suggest. Like, now it's harder to get it with a stake pool, but we do have a treasury, $700 million in the treasury, and we're giving away tons and tons and tons of money. And so there's an opportunity not just to go take the money, but to create something and sustain yourself, because it doesn't take a lot to build a business if you're hungry. It really doesn't. You know, it's, you can get in with a token project that's saying, hey, we've got an incentive for ambassadors, right? And they're getting paid some in tokens or whatever. And maybe you're supplementing yourself doing contract work for somebody. There's all, you know, successful people in the community, they pay other people to help them, you know, things like that. So there's opportunity, right? And gosh, take Lloyd, for example. Lloyd helping the token team, right? And him helping the token team got him helping the DripDropz team. And now Lloyd is a core member of the DripDropz team. Like, just, you know, he just brought game, and he just, you know, and so that's bring game, and you'll fit right in, right? Like, there's plenty of work to do, but, you know, bear market, it's tough. You can't rely on, you just got to feed yourself somehow. And I don't know what the answer is. If you're already running a business, like, there's no excuses when you're the leader. You got to figure it out, you know? And so if you got people to take care of, you've either got to have hard conversations and figure out what they absolutely need, because everybody's got to suffer together and get through it, or, you know, sometimes you have to make real hard decisions, not let the ship go down.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's an incredible story, man. I remember all those things that you had to go through during the ITN with Lyme disease, and, you know, you were sick, and I'm sure that was rough, but then, you know, you just fought through it, and here you are.
It's just weird, man. Like, it's not just, it's weird, you know, not being able to do what you could do. It's just, it's different. But I mean, like, I'm just blessed that I met so many good people along the way, and was, you know, able to just be able to work with them today. I mean, it's unbelievable. Oh, and I didn't even say Andrew on the DripDropz. Are you kidding me? How could I forget
Andrew Westberg?
Andrew?
Oh yeah.
It's just brilliant people, you know, like, from top to bottom, that whole team.
Absolutely.
About, you know, Siddick, even he's coming up from, he's graduating, he's in China. I think he's at MIT or something. I don't know where he's going to school. He's like going for machine. He's an engineer or something, but he's writing code for us. So
yeah. Wow, that's incredible.
What about you? Family good? Everything okay?
Yeah, man, family's good. I'm actually, it was my dad's birthday just recently, so, you know, it was great. I just got to spend the day with him, and, you know, we talk and all that kind of stuff, and I'm letting him know, like, hey, you know, I'm just building all this stuff, and he's like, yeah, you just keep on doing it, you know, don't let all this stuff get you down. It's temporary. So yeah, you know, I just try and take it one step at a time, you know, but family's good. It's incredible just to think about. My little sister, she got married just recently, so, you know, she's off and living her life now, and yeah, it was fun, man. Just got a chance to see her for my dad's birthday too. They had come up to visit.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, man.
Yeah. But hey, are you going to Rare Bloom and CNFC Con and all that?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool. We're all doing that up. Yeah, everybody go to Rare Bloom, go to CNFT Con. We're gonna hype all that up. It's gonna be fun. All cool people are going.
Will there be dry ice? That is the question. Will we have dry ice version
Pritesh,
2?
do you have video of that? You took video of that, do you not?
I did take video. I don't know if it's on my phone.
If you find it, splice this video with that here. And then, so you guys got to see that. That was wild.
Kyle, we did that. Sorry, hold on one sec. So we did that compilation, right? So I got all the pictures and the video. I'll have to go back and double check that.
Yeah, I was on the toilet.
There was
so fun.
You put the dry ice in the tub, and we've got the mist just going all over the floor in the hotel room, and we're just laughing. Everybody's having a good time. That was amazing. It was so much fun.
That was wild. Yeah, we had extra dry ice. We tried to do like the whole like dry ice thing at the party. We had ice sculptures. It was really dope. It was a cool party, but we had to keep, you know, you couldn't keep the water warm. You need to keep the water warm if you wanted to keep misting. So we ended up having 90 pounds of dry ice after the party, and we're bored as hell. So everybody's partying in this hotel room. So we go into the bathtub and just turn on the hot water, just throw the dry ice in there. And the whole room's like Thriller. Like, just fog just out from under the doors down the hallway. It's kind of wild.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I love that. See, that's what I really love about these in-person events, man. You create memories with the people who, you know, we do stuff like this and we talk and we've got meetings and everything like that. But then when you can have fun with those people and you create those memories, I love that, man. It's just so much fun.
It really meant something, because I mean, that's where we said, hey, we're going to do DripDropz. It's like we sitting down the table and talked about a few ideas. It started out as this idea of like, okay, how can we incentivize against an ISPO token? Oh, let's offer them 3 tokens. And then it was like, let's give them all the tokens, you know? So it's like natural progression.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. And then here we are, right? You guys are just crushing it. I know. I can't wait to see the results of this community vote. This is the first time you guys have done the vote with the drip token, but I think that it's been overwhelmingly well received. I mean, it's just incredible just to see.
We've had over 20% of the circulating supply vote, which is pretty cool.
Pretty good.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it is pretty good. I'm impressed with it. And, you know, I wanted to see maybe more wallets go, but that makes sense too. There's some people probably running, you know, quite a handful of wallets. And we made some proactive moves recently to cut down on the farmers from farming. So hopefully it all works out. You know, it's an interesting project. It's an interesting concept. It's great technology. So we're trying to innovate within the bounds of you know, while achieving legal compliance along the way. You know, we want to build a viable business that is that regulators are proud to have in the country, you know, and that we can be proud to have. And it's something is good for crypto, but yet, you know, there's also opportunity to penetrate new markets, right? And so we've got our eye on consumer facets where we might be able to say, oh, if we poke here, we can get an influx of users and maybe meet product market fit. So we're going to try to do that too. So it's cool, man. It's just really cool to be privileged to have this opportunity. So this vote essentially, I think, gives us the ability to play on a very large scale in the very near future. And, you know, I'm just right now, it looks like it's going down either way. I'm just trying to, I'll probably go celebrate tomorrow night or Thursday. Space Place Thursday. We'll do it Thursday.
Nice. Very nice.
Probably.
Well, cool. Yeah, Kyle. I'm excited about it too, man. There's just so much happening in the space between all the projects you're working on, you know, just the community growing exponentially. You know, the builders are here. They're here for the long run. The bear market isn't scaring any of us away. I guess for the people who have stuck with us this far, so check out Space Place on Thursday, depending on when this video goes out. Any last thoughts for our audience today, Kyle? I mean, with the Doja, I know you got that contest. Where can people go to learn more about that? When does the winner get announced?
If you guys operate a 3D printer, well, the contest, if you do 3D designs, just check out our Twitter at Adosia.io, ADOSIA.io. I'll give you the link for the description. We've also got our Discord up, so you can check out our Discord. I'll give you another link there. We just got our new Discord, so I'll give you that. You can share as well. Link to the new Adosia Discord. And from there, you know, like, guys, like, we're here to create new economic opportunities, and there's a lot of opportunity here. And so just keep your head down and keep pushing forward. It could get a little bit worse before it gets better, but I do believe that we will see some sunshine. And you know, just got to kind of ride through these times, guys. And this could last a while. So it's time to make more ADA, right?
Hey, on the bright side, it just got twice as cheap. So if you want to pick up some more, it's that much easier.
Yeah. We'll be selling it to you.
Awesome, brother. Well, I loved it, Kyle. I loved it. Well, everybody.
I appreciate you. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. I thank you so much for joining, and then I hope everybody watching is able to support everything these guys are doing. You know, check out those links down below. Of course, be sure to give Kyle a follow if you aren't already. He's on YouTube. He's on Twitter. He's doing a whole bunch of cool things, so you definitely want to make sure you give him a follow if you're not.
I got one more thing real quick before we go. DripDropz loyalty program. Yeah, DripDropz loyalty program is live. So when you drip, you are going to get a bonus. You're going to get a bonus every time you drip. So if you for up to 5 epics in a row, and then it'll sustain. So you'll get the first epic you drip consistently, you'll get another extra 100, and then an extra 100 the second, all the way. So you'll get 1100, 1200, 1300, 1400, and then 1500 on the 5th epic. And if you keep dripping consistently, you'll keep getting 1500. Coming very soon, we are going to make an interesting announcement. and we'll announce that very soon. And then also we are going to be launching multi-drip very soon. So stay tuned for Drip Pro. And Drip Pro is coming real fast. So stay tuned for those announcements as well. The DripDropz Twitter is at DripDropz IO and _IO. We'll leave that link as well.
Yes. Yep. You know, Kyle, with all those,
sorry for your encore.
No, you're good. You're good. With all those features coming up, man, it would be great because we had the team on before, right? You guys had launched DripDropz, it was about a month out, and you came on to talk to us about that. But would be fantastic when all those features go live and, you know, you're able to share, you know, come on the channel. Let's chop it up. You know, you guys can tell us about all those new features. You guys are welcome anytime.